Hello and welcome. My name is Bry'Anne. This is going to be a third installment in our push-pull series. So if you've been following along, great. You've got some practice. You're going to know where we're going. These flows are going to feel familiar. If not, totally fine. Just follow along. Do what you can. If you get lost, don't sweat it. Every moment that you come to the mat, every moment in life is a new opportunity to do things differently, to learn something about yourself, about the way you move, about how you feel about things, and to just meet yourself where you're at. That is ultimately the point, to accept where you're at and move forward after you've gotten your bearings, all right? For today's class, all you need is yourself. If you want some blocks, if you want a pillow, if you want a bolster, if you're dealing with something that is going to limit your movement or that you need to be mindful of, be sure to honor your body and incorporate those things into your practice. Never move into an area that feels painful, sharp shooting, just wrong. Challenge yourself, but we want to leave our mat feeling better than when we stepped on. So we're going to move a little bit faster for this class. If you've caught the past few, of course, go at your own pace. Slow it down if you need to, All right, so we're going to begin in this kneeling position with our toes tucked under. If you've got those pinky toes kind of wanting to fold, go ahead and give them a little adjustment. Pull them forward. I want you to think about pointing your tailbone down towards the floor, knitting these low ribs in, rolling your shoulders down and back. Shoulder blades should feel like they're kind of going into your opposite back pockets. And then give yourself almost a slight double chin, okay? Feels a little weird. We're going to call upon these muscles on the front side of our neck to pull our ears in line with our shoulders and get tall through the crown of our head. We're going to start out with a few breaths here. So take a deep breath in and out. Let's take another breath, letting your belly expand in all directions, making room for the lungs to move as your diaphragm shifts down. And then exhaling, releasing, allowing that contraction, that softening, that release to happen. And once more, deep breath in. And a breath out. On your next breath in, we're going to add some movement. So shift your hips forward, bringing your arms up and overhead. Real long reach. And exhale, sit your hips down, arms come parallel to the floor. And breath in, rise up. This time on your breath out, cactus through those arms. Really press your chest forward. You can kick your tailbone back behind you. Let your arms come out in front as you knit those ribs in. Point your tailbone down toward the floor and then sit your hips toward your heels. Hands are going to come down by your sides and then reach your arms overhead as you shift your hips forward. Exhale, cactus through those arms. Open everything up. Same thing. We're going to circle around. Arms come out in front. Your hands come down by your sides, arms come up and over. And this time as you exhale, arms come parallel to the floor. Let's inhale, left arm reaches up and over, gaze follows the fingertips. And exhale, close it off. Same thing with the right side, reaching long, fingertip to fingertip, and closing off. Breath in, arms rise. Cactus through those arms, open everything up. Shift your hips back, arms out in front of you. Let your hands come down by your sides. Shift those hips forward, arms rise. Knit those low ribs in, tuck through your tail. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. Let's lift our left arm up and over. Find that long reach and then close it off. Same with the right. Reach up and over. Gaze follows and close it off. We're going to add on this time. So reach your left arm up and over. We're really pushing through those fingertips. Right fingertips are going to find our left shoulder. And we're going to imagine ourselves pulling. So right elbows driving toward the front of the room, that shoulder blades wrapping around. We're going to reach overhead as we sit our hips back. So real long reach. It's going to come a point where we want to square with the floor. Let it happen. Left hand's going to ground down. We're going to shift forward so our shoulder comes in line with our wrist. Right elbow drives up toward the ceiling. Right arm's going to follow. And we're going to take a big circle around, reaching those right fingertips in front. Shift your hips back toward your heels. We're back in our kneeling position. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. Let's inhale. Arms come up and overhead. Exhale, cactus through those arms. Big circle around, sitting our hips back. Hands come by our sides, arms come up and over, and exhale, arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, left arm reaches overhead, and exhale, back through center. Right side, inhale and reach, exhale and center. We'll do the same thing on the left once more, and close off. And this time, as we extend our right arm up and reach back, we're going to find that push and our pull. So left fingertips to our right shoulder, drive that elbow forward and slightly back. Big sweep around as we shift our hips toward our heels. We're going to square our body off. Right hand grounds down. Shift yourself forward. We're in this 3-point tabletop here. Left elbow towards the ceiling. Fingertips rise if you can. You can also stay more square if that doesn't feel good. Big circle around overhead with your left hand. Glide your fingertips back to your knees and come right on back up. Breath in. Cactus, open everything up. Hands out in front, sitting those hips down. Bringing your hips back up, arms reach up and over, and exhaling, knitting those ribs in, arms parallel. Breath in, left arm reaches, right arm comes to the shoulder, push, pull, hips sit back, big circle around, left hand finds the floor, shift yourself forward, revolve tabletop, breath in, big circle around of our right fingertips, hips to heels, come on back through center, shift your hips forward, breath in here, breath out, open everything up. Arms out in front, hips toward your heels, and then hands by your sides as your hips shift back forward, arms rise, and exhale, close it off, arms parallel to the floor. We're doing the right side this time. Inhale, right arm reaches. Exhale, left hand, right shoulder, push, pull, big circle around, square off. Right hand finds the floor, shift it forward, elbow drives, fingertips drive. Shift your weight into your right fingertips as you reach forward with your left hand, and then sink your hips back down. We're doing this one more time, getting real fluid, smoothing out those edges. Breath in, breath out, open up, sink those hips back. Breath in, rise back up. Breath out, come parallel. Breath in, open it up. Breath out, push, pull. Big circle around. Ground down through that hand. Shift it forward. Find your twist. Find that reach forward. And then hips back toward your heels. Roll it back up. Breath in. Breath out. Open everything up. Sink your hips down. Inhale, come on back up. Arms rise. Breath out. Arms parallel. Inhale, right arm circles up and over. Exhale, push, pull. Sink those hips back. Close it off. Right hand grounds. Drive it forward. Reach your left fingertips. Circle overhead. And sink those hips back to your heels. One more time. Hips come forward. Arms rise up. Exhale, cactus. Sink those hips back. Arms forward. Circle those arms back up and over. Exhale, arms come parallel. Inhale, left arm opens. Push and pull. The left hand grounds, right arm reaches. Sink hips toward your heels. Roll it up. Breath in. Breath out, open everything up. Sink your hips. Breath in, come back up. Breath out, arms parallel. Breath in, open right side. Breath out, push and pull. Hips sink. Close it off. Shift, reach, extend, and hips toward your heels. Hands can come in. One more time. Breath in here. Breath out, cactus. Extend your arms out in front. Going to untuck our toes. You can let your fingertips come down to the mat, and then let your forehead come down to the mat as well. You can crawl your fingertips forward in your child's pose if there's any movements that you would like to take. Little rock side to side, maybe walking your hands to one side of the mat and then the other. You're more than welcome to do that. On your next breath in, we're coming forward through a tabletop. So I want you to really round through your back, ground down through those fingertips. Think about lifting up through your armpits, tucking your chin in toward your chest as you come forward until your shoulders are coming just beyond those wrists. When that happens, bring your gaze out in front, roll your shoulders back, lift up through your tailbone, and sink your hips back towards your heels. Really grip your mat with your fingertips. When your hips sink down, chin's going to come in towards the chest, tailbone's going to tuck, and we're coming back forward. Let's inhale, unwind, find that cow back, that arch through your back, and sit it back. And one more time, rolling through our cat, rounding through our back, and arching as we sit our hips back toward our heels. On your next breath in, we're coming forward and landing in our neutral tabletop. Tuck those toes back under. Go ahead and press down into the floor with your hands. Press down, tucking through our toes, and lift your knees up. We want our spine to stay in one nice long line. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, sink your hips back toward your heels. Let's inhale, come forward. If you need to let your knees come down, do so. And as you exhale, lift those knees back up, sink your hips back toward your heels. And once more, inhale, come forward, knees hover or down. And exhale, sink hips toward heels. I want you to stay right here. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to straighten your legs, driving your heels down to the floor. It's okay if your knees stay bent. Let's inhale, bend through our knees. And exhale, straighten. And once more, inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Nice. We're going to stay with those legs more or less straight. You can bend one knee generously and really drive the heel of the opposite foot down toward the floor. Press the floor away with your hands, and then switch. So we're pedaling out the legs. Maybe you even kick your tail over to one side, and then the other. And take a few more moments to just explore this position. Before we move on. So we're going to land in our neutral downward facing dog. And let's walk our feet back to our hands. Once our hands find themselves right in front of our toes, we're going to rock back onto our heels, turn our toes out. Heels will turn out and toes will turn out until we have a wide enough base to lower our hips down into a malasana, a yogi squat. We're not going to be there long though. Fingertips are going to come back down, heels spin in line with our toes, crown of the head down toward the floor, wide leg forward fold. Let's take a breath in, heels come in, hips come down, gaze goes out in front, hands might come in toward heart center, and then let your hands come down, toes spin in line with our heels, find your forward fold. Breath in, heels in, come down. Breath out, toes down, or fingertips down, heels in line with toes. And once more, inhale, heels in, sit. Exhale, heels turn, spin, head down. On your next breath in, rise up halfway, so we're flattening out through our back. Rock forward onto the balls of your feet, heels come in, rock back, toes come in, and keep on going, heel to toes until our big toes are touching, little space in between our heels. We're going to bend through our knees, coming through a toe stand. Nice. Hands can come in toward heart center. So I like to shift my weight back so my thighs are coming more or less parallel to the floor, and then continue to counterbalance to softly let my knees come down onto my mat. If that doesn't work for you, you can always let your hands come down. They can come down by your sides. You can come down one knee at a time, however you want to get there. But once those knees are down, we're going to shift our hips forward, take a breath in, arms rise up. Exhale, cactus those arms, open everything up, untuck those toes, bring your hands out in front of you, shift your hips back toward your heels. Let's inhale, roll forward through our cat back. Shift those hips back toward your heels as you bring your gaze out in front through your cow. And one more time, inhale, come forward. This time we're landing in our tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, send your hips back. Downward facing dog. Let's step our feet in towards one another. Take a breath in. Right heel's gonna lift. Let's exhale. Knee comes in toward our nose. We're gonna step forward so that our foot replaces our right thumb. Once we're there, put a bend through your back knee. Let that knee come down to your mat. Let's take a breath in. Arms are gonna rise up and over. So even in this position, I want you to be mindful of what's happening through your core here. Notice where your tailbone is in space. If it's kicking back behind you, point it down towards the floor. You might get a little tuck. Okay, glutes, hamstrings active on that back leg. And then notice what's happening in your ribs. If they're flaring, they're opening way up, I want you to draw them in towards midline of the body. So in towards one another so that you feel real strong, braced through that midsection. Let's take a breath in here, arms rise. And exhale, hands come on out in front. On your inhale, we're going to circle our right arm up and over. Gaze is going to follow. And exhale, close it off. Let's inhale, open it up. And this time as we exhale, left fingertips come to our right shoulder. We're going to push and pull. Okay? And as we do that, we're going to circle around. Your right fingertips are going to come on the inside of that foot, or you can let your right forearm come on top of your right thigh. When this happens, I want you to spin this back leg open. So we're windshield wiping through our left leg. Knee's gonna stay. We're lifting up our toes, and then we're spinning our left toes toward the right side of our mat. That's gonna open your hips up. Perfect. Your left elbow drives up towards the ceiling, and then your left fingertips are going to extend. This front knee, I want it to be pushing towards the right side of the mat. Don't let it collapse in. We want to be actively pushing it out, even if we've got to use this right arm to provide that feedback for us. Take a breath in here, and as you exhale, we're going to close this off. So left fingertips, take a big circle around. We're going to unwind, so unwindshield wipe, coming back to our starting position. Our right elbow drives up toward the ceiling. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, reach out in front of you. Tuck through your left toes, lift through that left knee, and step forward. We're at a forward fold, straightening through our legs at the top of our mat. Soft bend in our knees. Inhale, rise up to standing. Arms are going to reach up. Exhale, cactus those arms. Let's inhale, reach our arms back on up. And exhale, arms come parallel to the floor. We're going to do the same thing, that push-pull, standing. So inhale, left arm circles up and over. Exhale, right fingertips come toward our left shoulder. We're reaching with our left fingertips, pulling with the right. I'm going to put a bend through my right knee. We're going to circle our left fingertips overhead. I'm still driving this right elbow in close to my side body. There's going to come a point where you square towards the floor. When that happens, switch the bend of your knees. Left fingertips come down, right fingertips come up, gaze follows, and then circle that right arm over, finding your forward fold. Let's inhale, roll all the way up to standing. We're going to do the same thing on the left. Exhale, cactus those arms. You can let them come down by your sides. Inhale, bring your arms back up. And exhale, arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, right arm opens. Exhale, left hand to your right shoulder. Bend through your left knee. Find that push, find that pull. Big circle around with your right hand. Square off to the floor, switch the bend in your knees. Right fingertips come down, left elbow drives, left arm reaches, big circle around, finding your forward fold. Inhale, roll up to standing, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, cactus. This time, bring your arms right out in front of you. We're bending through our knees, coming down into our little toe stand here. Hands come in toward heart center, finding that balance. And then exhale, hands come down. We are straightening through our legs, crown of the head down towards the floor, heels ground down. Let's inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, plant your hands, step back, finding your plank. Feel free to take a vinyasa or just hold this plank for a breath in. And then exhale, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Let's step those feet in towards one another and do the left side. Inhale, left heel reaches up high. And then exhale, draw your knee in towards your nose, shift your weight forward, and replace your left thumb. Right knee is going to come down. You can untuck your right toes if you would like. And inhale, arms rise. Right away, find a little tuck through your tailbone. Find that knit through your ribs. Find that slight double chin, length through the crown of your head. Exhale, arms come parallel to the floor. Right arm stays where it is. Inhale, left arm circles, and gaze goes behind. Let's bring it back through center. And same thing. Inhale, open it up. We're going to stay here. As we exhale, right hand comes to our left shoulder. We're finding that push, and we're finding this pull through the right side. Okay, so we're driving our right elbow in toward our side body, reaching overhead with the left. We're going to windshield wipe through our right leg as our left fingertips come down on the inside of our left foot. Okay, so right toes come off to the left, right arm drives up, and then reach those fingertips up high. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're closing off. It's going to require you to square back through your hips. Right hand grounds down, left arm reaches. Tuck right toes, lift right knee, step it up, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, breath in. Exhale, cactus through those arms. Inhale, arms rise back up. Exhale, arms come parallel. Inhale, left arm opens. Exhale, finding that push, pull, pull. Bend through your right knee. Big circle around. Left fingertips come down. Bend through left leg. Right arm reaches. Breath in and breath out as that right arm circles over. Let's inhale, rise back up to standing. Exhale, cactus through those arms. Hands come down by the sides. Breath in, arms rise. Breath out, arms parallel. Breath in, right arm opens. Breath out, left hand, push, pull. Bend through the left knee, big circle around. Hand to the floor, switch the bend. Left arm reaches, big circle around. And find your forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing, breath in. And breath out, cactus through those arms. We're going to bring our arms out in front, come through that toe stand once again. Hands in toward heart center. And on your breath out, heels to the ground, straighten through your legs, crown of the head to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, finding a plank. Breath in here. And breath out, hips high. We're going to smooth out that same flow on each side. Breath in, right heel lifts, and step that knee in towards your nose. Replace the left thumb, right thumb with your right foot. Knee comes down, option to untuck your toes. Breath in, come into your low lunge. Let's exhale, arms parallel to the floor, and inhale, open it up to face the right. So you exhale, left hand, right shoulder, push, pull. Big circle around. Right fingertips come down, windshield wipe through that left leg. Drive your left elbow towards the ceiling. Left fingertips follow. Follow fingertips with your gaze as you close off to the floor. Windshield wipe, back open with that left leg. Reach your right arm out in front, tuck, lift through your back knee, and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, arms reach overhead. Exhale and cactus. Hands are going to come out in front. Sit down into your toe stand. Breath in, hands heart center. And breath out, finding your forward fold. Breath in, lift up halfway. Breath out, plant the hands, find your plank. Take a breath. And exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Step the feet together. Lift that left foot, knee to nose, replacing the thumb. Right knee down, arms rise up. Exhale, arms parallel. Inhale, open to the left. Exhale, push, pull. Right fingertips, left shoulder, reach, pull. Find that big circle around as we windshield wipe through our right leg. Drive your right elbow, reach those right fingertips. Breath in here, and then exhale, close it off. Undo that windshield wipe. Right hand comes down, left fingertips reach. Tuck, lift that back leg, and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, breath in. Breath out, cactus. Hands come forward, come through that toe stand. Bring your hands in toward heart center. And then from here, we're going to come down onto our bottoms in a seat. So you can use your hands, or we can really practice that weight shift, making this as controlled as we can. Coming into a butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees falling open, sitting it up, nice and tall, rolling those shoulders back, taking a breath in and a breath out. And if you feel called to move side to side, to circle around, to shimmy your hips, your shoulders, to fold forward, to rock, feel free to do it. So we don't have to be super stiff. Really like to encourage you to feel out the position, to find some movement, to make your poses yours, and that might mean getting funky in them. Let's keep our right leg where it is. Send your left leg out to the side. Bring the sole of the right foot in, nice and close. We're going to reach for our right knee with our left hand. Drive that right elbow back. We're going to push into our right knee with our left hand, and then reach that right arm up toward the ceiling. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're closing off. So release that right knee with the left hand, frame your left leg, and then reach your fingertips forward. Make sure you've got a flex through your left foot. Let's inhale, come back up into a seat, square yourself back up. We're going to do the same thing. Left hand, right knee, right elbow drives. We're opening it up, gaze is going to the right side, extending our right arm overhead as we lean over to the left, pulling that left hand, reaching like we're pushing through our right. It's going to come a point where we want to close off. Right hand comes down, release that left hand comes to the outside of your left leg. Crawl fingertips forward, take a breath in and a breath out. We're going to do this one more time. Hands come back through center. Left hand threads under, reach for that right knee, drive your right elbow back, extend that arm over, really reach, push and pull with those hands, close it off, release the knee, and then unthread, frame your left leg. Fold it forward, take a breath in, maybe bring your gaze towards those toes, and a breath out, reach out longer. Let's bring it back through center. We're going to switch out our legs. Left leg comes in, right leg out to the side. Sole of the left foot on the inside of our right thigh. Right hand's going to come around to our left knee. We're driving that left elbow back as we start to lean towards the right. We've got to flex through our right toes. Left fingertips reach up toward the ceiling. We're opening it up first, so keep this armpit open towards the sky. And then we're going to close off. So your gaze can shift down toward the ground. You're going to release that left knee, unthread your right arm, and then reach it on the outside of your right leg. You can crawl those fingertips forward. And then let's bring it back through center. Same thing. Right hand, left knee, left elbow drives, left fingertips follow. Find that reach, push into your right hand. Really pull that knee back, but drive your left knee down towards the floor. So we're kind of pulling this way, away from one another, creating our own tension, and then close it off to the floor, left fingertips down, unthread, right hand outside of right leg, left hand inside. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let's bring it back through center. We're going to do it one more time. Right hand, left knee, reach, drive, push, pull. Really reach through those left fingertips. Close it off. Release the knee. Reach for the foot. Take a breath in and a breath out. And as you inhale, come back through center. I'm going to cross my right leg in front of my left, coming through a Sukhasana, easy seat. And this is where we're going to end our practice today. If you'd like to continue to find some movement, to feel some things out, maybe repeat the flow, I encourage you to do so. And if you'd like to come to a final resting pose that's something other than this easy seat, you're more than welcome to as well. But if you're following along with me, we're going to bring one hand to our belly, one hand towards our heart. Think about drawing those shoulders down and back, letting them relax, finding that length up through the crown of our head, closing our eyes, taking a deep breath in, letting our belly expand and press up into our hands, and exhaling, allowing everything to soften. Taking a breath in, finding that full expansive space, and releasing. And once more, breath in. And breath out. Release your hands to your knees. And as you're feeling ready, you can go ahead and open up those eyes. And that's going to wrap it up for our little movement practice today. Thank you for being here with me, as always. If you have any questions, any comments, I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and leave me some feedback down below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.